Okay, folks, we are looking at kind of a different knife than some of the other ones that I've reviewed lately, but this is an older style buffalo skinner knife made out of Solingen steel, and that comes from Solingen, Germany. And this particular one was made by a company called Edgemark, and I'll show you this. The knife here is a beautiful knife. This, very rarely will you see them in this good a condition. Some of the things to look for are the number 496, this type of jibbing up here, and then a lot of them will say buffalo skinner right on there. And this one is actually marked Edgemark, Solingen, Germany. Why do I like this knife? Why is this a sweet knife? Fits in the hand really well. It's an old knife. I mean, this is probably at least 50 years old, brand new, never been used, and it's actually very hard to find in this good a condition. They just don't. Normally, the only place you can get these is eBay, and they're one of the things that's really sweet about this is you can pick these up for a really decent price. I've seen a lot of used ones go for $20, and I've seen some of the more expensive ones go closer to 50 or 60. I think this one I got for $50 or $60. I can't remember. This is stag handle here. You can see the different ways that they attached the stag to the handle. They use different colors here. This is a brass piece right there, and then this is the bottom. Same type of thing. I like this knife because the craftsmanship is pretty good. Really good craftsmanship. They all will have this that way that they attach to the handle. I think, and I'm not exactly sure, there's probably people out there that know more than me, but there's different companies out there in Germany that made this kind of knife that looked almost identical, but the blanks were pretty much the same. So I don't know if these blanks were the same and then shipped out to different companies. I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but the ones that I see on eBay all have the stag, and they all have this type of a blade, the Solingen blade. Really good steel. It's not as good as today's steels, but it's still a very good steel. I would highly recommend this knife to anybody. Like I said, the reason I like this is that it fits in the hand really well. It's not a heavy knife. It's a good carrying knife. This particular sheath is a nice leather sheath with a deer on it. Some of the ones that you get will have markings on the back of the sheath that might say Solingen. They might say different things on the back of the sheath. It's very rare that you'll find one that looks exactly like this, but if you go on eBay and you search Solingen Germany, you'll see they made many different styles. This was the buffalo skinner, and like I said, the numbers 496 seem to be a common thread. I've noticed that the markings are different on a lot of them, and the way they wrote buffalo skinner was different, and then also the company that made them is sometimes different, but for all general intents purposes, this is the buffalo skinner Solingen knife. It's a very good knife. The nice thing about it is it can be sharpened pretty easily. This blade is not it's not a super hard blade. And what would it compare today? It's definitely not as good as some of the newer steels, but with that being said, it's still a very good steel that can be sharpened to a very sharp, very, very sharp. Back in the day, there was no steel as good. Anything from Solingen, Germany. In fact, a lot of the cutlery knives are still made in Solingen. I believe like Westhoff and Wusthof and some of these other ones are still made either there or with that steel. So I mean, it's still a place where a lot of cutlery is made, and you can be assured that it's going to be good quality stuff. I just think this is a knife that's highly undervalued. I think that if you look on eBay and you watch a lot of items, you can pick up this knife relatively cheap. This is a great deer hunting knife. Carry with you in your bootleg, or carry in your backpack if you use that, or in your pocket or on your belt, wherever you want. This knife here you can get a great deal on. It'll do everything you need to do. If you want to skin the deer, if you want to gut it, it's just a great knife. I would highly recommend it. It's a sweet knife. In fact, this one is so brand new that you can't tell this, but I don't think it's ever been sharpened. This is how it came from the factory, and I don't actually use this. I have a few others that are just like this, and this one I don't actually use, so it's never been sharpened. So if you happen to find a brand new one, I think you gotta, I mean, it's just not that it's not that sharp, so you gotta sharpen it if you find a brand new one. It'll be difficult to find. Most of them, since this is actually steel, it rusts really easily. So what they recommend is that you use some sort of oil or grease, some sort of protectant on this blade, just because, like Vaseline or something like that, just because this will rust over time if you have it in a moisture environment. That's one bad thing about the Solingen steel. It's an actual carbon based steel, and it does rust. So this one has been kept in good shape, and is not rusting, but a lot of them are. Yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, it's a cheap, for the price it's cheap, but the quality is phenomenal. So that's why I'm showing you guys this knife. It's a great knife. It's looked over a lot for a lot of new ones, but it's a sweet knife. I highly recommend it. Thanks for looking, and I'd like to get other people's feedback too, so feel free to comment on this one. I definitely would like to hear what others think about this kind of knife, or others like this made out of this kind of steel. It just seems like these knives get overlooked quite a bit, so I'd like to hear what you guys think. Have a great day. Bye bye.